If you're looking for a warm pair of hiking boots, I would recommend the Thermoball Zip Up by the North Face. But if you're looking for something that's gonna be waterproof, I'd stay away from these boots. These boots offer a lot of good features, but they also have a lot of cons. Now, the first thing that caught my attention about these boots is the baffled down look, which you see on down jackets. The Thermoball is 100% polyester, which will definitely help keep your feet warm in cold temperatures. And it's an equivalent to a 600 down fill, which you see in down jackets or other down filled garments. Now, the upper that you see in these boots is not actually leather. It's a PU leather. It's a polyurethane leather. It's an artificial leather, but will still give your feet some protection from the elements. Now, these boots will claim that they are waterproof, as you can see on the boot, right? It has the waterproof logo, but I'll quickly tell you that these boots are not 100% waterproof, at least not anything above the first hole on the shoelace, because if it's raining, if you're going in puddles, if it's rainy conditions, water's quickly gonna seep into your boot. The PU leather, the polyurethane leather, is waterproof, but anything after that, once you get into the Thermoball aspect, which begins right after the first hole of the shoelaces, water will quickly seep into the boot. Now, the Thermoball aspect, which is this baffled section, is coated with durable water repellent finish, but is not exactly waterproof. So water will definitely seep into the boots. I found that out quickly enough on the hike that I went. It was raining, it was snowing, and I was playing around in the puddles like a kid. And as soon as I jumped into a puddle, the water seeped in through the first base of the boot. Now, the baffled ripstop, which you see on the boot, is actually what gives it its down jacket look or down garment look, essentially. This is actually what keeps your feet the warmest. It keeps you warm from the elements, but it's also made out of a durable water repellent ripstop, which is actually made from 100% recycled water bottles. But this actually keeps my leg warm enough, and it gives me the warmth that I was expecting, but just doesn't give me the water repellency that I was hoping I would get. Now, when it comes to traction on these boots, it uses the North Face Ultra Tack traction, which I would say does a good enough job, right, to get you outdoors, to get you on trails. But I would definitely say that the traction is not what I was expecting. I thought they were going to be a lot more grippy. I don't know if you've ever, tried on shoes at the store, and as soon as you start walking in them, it feels slippery. That's what these boots felt like the very few times that I've put them on. I've been using them for about 2 weeks, the past winter hikes, but they were just not as grippy as I was hoping. The lugs are significantly deep, so they do a really good job on muddy, on sand, on snow, but anything like wet pavement, especially if you're on an incline, was just not giving me the response or the grippiness that I was hoping I would get. A couple cons about these boots would be they're missing a pull strap. If these boots offered a pull strap, I think it would make it a lot easier for you to stick your foot in and stick your foot out, just because even though these boots offer a zipper and the shoelaces, it's not as easy as you would think to stick your foot in and stick your foot out. So whenever you're trying to stick your foot into the boot, you have to really make sure you loosen up the shoelaces and you unzip the zipper, because then it's still kind of difficult to stick your foot inside. And trying to grab onto the baffle design is pretty slippery, especially if in cold conditions, your fingers are cold. So pull strap would definitely help you if they included that in these boots. Another thing I would change about these boots would probably be just the zipper and then this shoelace design, just because it definitely makes it very hard to stick your foot in and pull your foot out. I guess just because this is the most narrow part of the boot. So, this zipper gives it a false hope that you would just be able to slip your foot in and slip your foot out once you tie the shoelaces, but that's not at all the case. Now, I do have a wide foot, and I got these boots in a size 13 regular, and the boots seem to pretty much fit to size. I still have a little bit of play in my toes when I'm walking around with these boots. But aside from that, the fit is true to size. That's usually the size that I stick with, a 13, if they don't offer wide. But these boots still give me some room for my toes, but it is hard to stick your foot inside here. Now, another con about these boots would have to be the rigidness, at least in this aspect here of the boot. You know, when you're gonna push off when you're walking, this part of the boot here is really rigid. And I've worn them I would say a good 6 times in the past couple hikes that we've been on, and it's just very rigid. So when you're taking off, or if you're gonna go on a little jog, or you're just trying to walk fast, this part of the boot here does feel really rigid, at least compared to other boots that I've worn in the past. So this is definitely one con, or one thing that I did not like about the boot. But I'm hoping that the more I wear them, that they'll break in, especially this, artificial leather, which I think is what gives it its rigidness. I'm hoping that the more I use them, the less rigid they would be. Now, I did pay for these boots out of my own money. They were not given to me. Now, I think they normally go for $150. I did end up getting them for about $60 just because they were the last ones that they had, and they're the ones they had on display. Then I think I had like a coupon. But anyways, that's how I ended up getting these boots. It was like a major sale. Normally, now that I've tried them on, I don't think they're worth $150, especially just because they're not as waterproof as I was hoping. I would probably, if it wasn't a sale, I would probably pay maybe $100. Seems fair, just because it definitely keeps your feet warm, but it doesn't keep your feet dry, at least not in pretty much deep levels of puddles, or if it's raining hard. I would still make sure you coat it maybe with another water repellent spray, just so you can give it an extra coverage, an extra protection for your feet. Okay guys, so that's my review of the Thermoball Zip Up by the North Face. If I missed anything, let me know. If you guys have any questions, please write them down below. Thanks guys.